Okay, hello guys, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. This is a series of tutorials on LaTeX programming. Now, if you guys are able to come all the way here by finishing all the previous videos or getting understanding of how the previous videos looks like, then congratulations, you have successfully completed a nice full-fledged course. I mean, at least a reasonably full-fledged course on LaTeX. And now this is actually the series finale, and here we're not going to talk about anything about LaTeX, the technical details of LaTeX. Okay, so this is just like an overview as to what can be done from here, what to do from here, in both LaTeX point of view as well as in general point of view. Okay, to start with, in this presentation, we're just going to see an outline of what can be done. These outlines, like what else what else is there in LaTeX, how to proceed from here, what else I can do with LaTeX. A small discussion about uh, LaTeX and its compatibility with Office products. Uh, Alternatives for LaTeX, are there any? And a little bit of little bit of online references, and look at an Office products, and a little comparison about a little introduction about Sphinx and Ipython notebooks. Okay, let's go about with it. Now, what else is there in LaTeX? Now, the thing is, if you guys are able to cover all the stuff and you're able to understand what all the things that we've done so far, then I guarantee you that most probably 95% of the time that will be just more than sufficient for you guys to breeze through any kind of any kind of contents that you might come across uh, for your report works or for your thesis or something similar stuff. Okay, once in a while you may have to pick up a few extra commands that might come along the way, but trust me, if you understand the workflow of how it work, if you just understand the workflow and you get following me, and picking up those concepts will not be that hard. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, what else you have in LaTeX is that you just have a few more things, like you're already a reasonably intermediate LaTeX programmer, if you ask me right now. In the program, since LaTeX user, ask if you ask me. So you are actually not a basic level. You're actually in the intermediate level. So that's a good thing for you, guys. That's a good thing for you guys. So what else can be done is that you can look at what macros are. Now, I haven't talked about macros in the series because, to be honest, I haven't used macros much, and macros, in my opinion, they're not that useful. But again, there might be people who might find macros very much useful and very convenient. That might be very convenient. I'm not sure. Some of you guys might find it very relevant to you guys. Okay, what macro does is that it's just some kind of a statement that gets repeated again and again and again in the document wherever you type a small name. Okay, that's what macros is for, just for repeating a set of blocks again and again by the usage of a single line or a single command. Okay, you guys can have a look at that. And then the next topic is custom commands. Now, LaTeX gives you freedom and a little bit of freedom, a little bit of option to create your own custom commands. And if you do that, you can make the usage of custom commands can be very helpful in certain places wherein you have to specify certain options and you have to make one. But the thing is, even though these custom commands are actually built on top of primary commands, okay, the usage of certain primary commands in a particular order gives rise to the form of a certain command which can be used again and again. So that's why custom commands are very useful. Okay, and there are, other than that, there are several other commands that we haven't looked at. Okay, there, as if my understanding goes right, there I guess there is a command for including audio and video. Okay, and these two are especially work with Beamer, and there are a lot more commands in Beamer, and we have several more options and features available in LaTeX. For instance, if you want to draw a circle, draw graph sheets, lines, arcs, curves, Bezier curves, or if you want to put some images and you want to create other kind of slides and stuff, it's all possible because all of them come under more commands, because there's so many commands. And if you look at the LaTeX repository, you have like literally tons and tons, literally tons and tons of libraries over there and packages over there, and explaining all the commands will be literally impossible, because there'll be just there are just so many. There are just so many. So there's just so many commands, you can just learn about that. And on an advanced level, what you can do is that you have an option to diving into tech commands, wherein tech commands are a little bit complicated, slightly complicated and slightly messy. They're not as simple as LaTeX commands. With tech commands, you have even more freedom to make even more drastic changes to your documents. And the understanding of tech commands can is not absolutely mandatory. You don't have to know tech commands at all, but LaTeX commands are sufficient. But thing is, tech commands, if you know it, then it can you can get some you can get some extra benefits out of LaTeX, because tech is actually the core of LaTeX, so you can get a lot of benefits out of that. You can make a lot more changes, and that's about that. And other thing is, you can make your own custom styles and classes, not the templates we used, not the templates I'm talking about. You can make your own custom styles. For instance, you might remember me telling in one of the tutorials about bibliography has their own styles, and each bibliography has their own styles, and each document have their own style, each class have their own styles and all. Okay, if you want to create those styles, it's possible. It's absolutely possible, and that is by understanding how tech commands work and everything. You can make your own custom styles, provided if you know how tech works and everything. And also you can make your own document classes. Now this is something interesting. You might not, we all this time we were working with only standard classes like report or article or beamer, and there are letter. The thing is, there are several other classes available, and you can make your own class based on the document, based on the need of the document. Okay, and all these are possible only by understanding tech commands. Okay, now these are the things that you can do with LaTeX. Now how do I proceed with that is simple. First thing is, you don't learn all the commands. It's not at all necessary, trust me. I perfectly agree. Even if you look at my tutorial, to get started, to get a kickstart with your job and everything, you may not be in a position, you may not be required to learn all the commands I've taught you so far in the videos, because at some point of time you won't be using all of them. You'll be using some specific parts of them here and there, and so I'm just covering a wide so I just made a lot of videos so that I just cover a wide audience, covering a wide variety of aspects. Okay, that's the reason. So the thing is, the rule of thumb is, you don't have to learn all the commands. You just have to know how to use them and everything. Just keep that in mind, and in case if you are in doubt or something, you can come back and look at the videos, or look at research at other references and see how they are used, and go on with it. So the best rule is, learn as per the need. Let's say if you're working with Beamer, if you want to make a presentation in Beamer, and you say that okay, I need a new kind of animation. The animation styles animation methods I use are not working fine. Then what should I do? Then go and learn something new. Let's say if you were to work with reports, and I want some more different types of indicing which I have not looked at. Then what should I do? Go and look at it like that. If you have a necessity, and if you want to know something a little more than what is already you know, then go and learn. Other than that, it's not at all necessary or recommended to learn all the commands in LaTeX, because LaTeX itself is a very large repository of packages, and each package has several commands. It's literally impossible to learn in a short span. Okay, and one more thing is, if you learn something, especially for LaTeX, okay, especially in LaTeX, just keep notes. Make notes for yourself so that you just understand what's going on, and if you want to refer to that again and again in easy to understand manner, so for that reason, make notes. And or else, if you find some online resources wherein they have explained stuff in a very lucid manner for you to look at, then Be aware of those useful links and keep track of them, or save them in a separate place, or know where to find them so that you can get it easily. And then what you do is that most of your routine work, just make templates based on what we learned. Just make a template and use the template all the time, instead of making creating the document right from the scratch and reinventing the wheel all the time. Just make the template once based on your need, and then use the templates again and again, just like that, and just reuse them. Always keep a backup copy of a template that you're making for your future references. Okay, and then just reuse them. That kind of avoids a lot of trouble and pain for reinventing the stuff. And then what else can you do in LaTeX? We saw what you can learn in LaTeX. Now what can you do is that you can make your own resume or a CV. You can make posters, you can write books, you can make charts, you can make papers and quality contents using LaTeX. And how to make all these contents, you don't have to worry about anything. The reason is because for posters, resumes, books, charts, papers or publications or journals, most of them have a lot of templates to choose upon. Now if you just take some default templates and break through as to what's going on inside, you'll understand what's going on, and from that you can just make your own template if you want, or just use the templates as it is and write these contents as per your wish. And then again, if you look at several other templates, you'll also have an idea of what's going on inside and everything. Just go through the code and understand what's going on, and that will be very, very useful. And you will learn a lot by reading through the code. Okay, there are a lot of standard templates available, and most of them are for free, so you can just download them and use them. And the thing is, that way you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. That's a good thing to look at. And especially if you're some kind of a newbie who is just trying to understand what LaTeX is and everything, you just want to get a lot of job done in a quick manner, in a very short span of time, but you don't have time to understand what's going on and everything, then you go with the standard templates that are available. That will solve your trouble quite easily, and it will be very, very simple. And then a big debate, and this is always a big debate if you are working with LaTeX. The question is LaTeX a full-fledged replacement for Office products like Word or PowerPoint? The simple answer is absolutely not, because sometimes working with LaTeX can be tedious for menial works. So you see this presentation I made. It just took me like 15-20 minutes to make this entire presentation in LibreOffice. I'm using LibreOffice. So it took me about 15 to 20 minutes to make this presentation. But the thing is, if I were to make the same presentation in LaTeX, it would have taken me some more time. Much more time. Okay. So the thing is, for some menial jobs, working with LaTeX can be really annoying, because there's just so much. You just have to type a lot of commands and stuff again and again. That will be really hard. On the other hand, for some jobs, working with Office products can be troublesome, because because of formatting issues, or because of mathematical typesetting issues, or several other issues, or some stability issues, or whatsoever, memory usage issues whatsoever. In those cases, working with Office products do not work. So as a result, what can be done is that Office products are not a complete replacement of LaTeX, and LaTeX is neither a complete replacement for Office products. So in any case, keep an Office package with you, like Microsoft Office or Star Office or LibreOffice or OpenOffice, some Office product with you, so that you can switch back between these two depending on the need and relevance. Okay. Use them depending on the need and relevance. At the end of the day, both of them are just software packages, software tools. So use the right tool based on the right situation. That's my suggestion. And are there alternatives to LaTeX? To be honest, yes, there are. There are some alternatives, like something called alternatives and editors. Okay, some of them are called as WYSIWYG to help me. I mean, what does this mean? If I were to, I'll explain this. This acronym stands for what you see. Okay, this one. What you see is what you get. Editors. So what happens is that if you type something, it'll give you a rendering of how the document looks, and that is exactly how it will get when you print it out. Okay, and Word, I mean, isn't that what word processors do? Yes, but sometimes when you print them out, you do not get exactly what you see. You get slightly modified stuff. But what you see, what you get, editors are help you to type contents in such a manner that what you see on the screen is exactly how you'll get. Okay, even LaTeX is what you see is what you get. Editor. Okay, we have a few alternatives, and links is LYX is one of them. There might be some other, you can just have a look at that. And some of them work something similar to LaTeX. Maybe they use some they may be inspired from LaTeX, or they use some more options similar to LaTeX and all. You can just have a look. Okay, and some of them are completely different, and they are completely they're made completely independent of LaTeX. Okay, some alternatives, they are used by journals and publishers for making their own papers, books, articles and stuff. They may have an entirely different setup. Some companies have some companies have software that can be an alternative to LaTeX as well. For instance, one of my guides told me that for his thesis, he wrote his entire thesis in Adobe FrameMaker, if I remember right. Okay, he used that for making his thesis. He said he paid to get a copy of it because it's not freely available. It's commercial, kind of commercial in the sense. I mean, it has private license, I guess. It's not free, to be honest. That's the thing. There are softwares that you can get to make an alternative for LaTeX, but thing is, almost all of them are paid and expensive. There might be some exceptions. So that's about it. There are LaTeX alternatives. So if you guys are curious and if you want to know what's going on, just check it out. Just Google it out. You can find a lot, and if you find that comfortable, just go ahead. Your wish. At the end of the day, it's your wish. So just go ahead with that. Not a problem. And then this web slide is absolutely important for all of you guys, because whenever you start working with LaTeX, or you find something trouble, if you don't know how to do or something, or in these cases, these things are the ones that are going to save you literally. There are a lot of online references wherein you can get a lot of information pertaining to LaTeX. One of them is CTAN, called as Centralized Tech Archive Network, which is actually a centralized repository where you can download all the packages, but all the packages pertaining to LaTeX. It has all the packages, so you can just go there and have a look at that. And then there's this webpage called as latexproject.org, where they have their own collection of documentation and references as to how to use LaTeX. There's this website called as Share LaTeX, and there is this option page called as tech.stackexchange or Stack Overflow. There are question forums like this. You can just ask a lot of questions and you get a lot of information about that. And then you have tech blogs as well. A lot of people just write a lot of tech blogs. They post contents. They post contents and easy to replicate examples with code snippets, which can be just copy pasted into your document and worked on with it, and will be very, very beneficial. And there are a lot of wiki books on LaTeX, and during our if you guys remember, during the entire tutorial series, we did go to I did show you guys pages relevant to share LaTeX and little bit some tech blogs and some wiki books. We did see that, but if you guys check rigorously, and if you guys ask a lot of questions or search a lot, you might come across a lot of forums. You might come across forums like Stack Exchange, Texas Stack Exchange, where they discuss about tech related questions, and in also in C10 you might find that. Other than that, other than these online references, there are a lot of LaTeX books available in the market. I have a personal copy of a documentation preparation system LaTeX users guide and reference manual by Leslie Lamport. There are a lot of books by other authors like Gustafson's, a not so simple guide of about LaTeX, tech manual and stuff. There are a lot of that, and even till Tantau, you just saw in one of the beamer tutorials. He has his own repository. So not a repository. He has his user manual for BibTech, which can be used like that. So the thing is, if you were to look for online resources and books, there are just plenty of them. And if you guys are willing to buy a book to get as a user reference, it's a very good decision. It's a very good decision, worth the money. The thing is, you don't have to buy all the books. Just go through take a book and see all the contents and just buy one of them. Mostly one book will be sufficient, more than sufficient for a majority of the option. Just always go for an updated one, because a lot of tech packages are coming up. So it's always better to go for an updated one with a lot of new features. So that's about online references. And a little look about office products. As on today, which is 25th of October 2015. Okay, now going back to the presentation. As on today, okay, all the office products have advanced nicely with a lot of features for mathematical typesetting and format alignments and several other stuff. Meaning, those kind of things that the word processor did not those kind of things which the word processor were not able to do in the beginning, for which the LaTeX and tech came into existence. I mean, majority of those jobs and with the objectives can be done using your office products like Word, like LibreOffice Writer or Microsoft Word or something similar, or an equivalent in any office product. However, despite that, sometimes you might get a few issues like a little bit of lag, some lack of some specific features might be missing, and sometimes your formatting might change when you migrate the document from one system to other, so on and so forth, like that. Okay, so the thing is if you use your your office products like your word processor and your PowerPoint, your slideshow programs software properly, thing is you can get a really good quality output as equivalent to that of LaTeX. But thing is, they cannot overthrow as on today, they just cannot overthrow LaTeX, completely replace LaTeX, because LaTeX is far ahead in the mathematical typesetting when compared to them. Even the font wise, the quality wise, they're really good, LaTeX. But the thing is, you can get a reasonably good output with those products. So I'm not saying bad about the products, I'm just saying that both of them are in a reasonably good condition as of today. So the thing is, as of today, a reasonable quantity of knowledge in both the office products as well as LaTeX is readily useful. And thing is, juggle between the two. For very vital circumstances with a tedious amount of scientific mathematical work, go with LaTeX. And if for simple operations, you can just go with office products or just use them accordingly based on the need. Use them accordingly based on the need. So that's my suggestion. So neither one of them are complete to replace the others. So it's better to know both to understand how things go by. And finally, a little bit of introduction to Sphinx and Ipython notebooks. Now, Sphinx is actually a documentation program developed using Python. Okay, what this does is that with this, it's actually a terminal-based program like LaTeX, what you can do is that you can make documentation, online documentations for programs and source codes. You can make articles, you can make reports, you can make web pages, you can make tech files or tech based PDF files out of it and everything. And you can also make presentations with them. So if you look at it, this looks on the skin surface, it looks like a good replacement for LaTeX. Is it true if you ask me? Well, to be honest, reasonably, because you can get to do a lot of job that you can with Sphinx that you can do in LaTeX. LaTeX is really good, but thing is, Sphinx is interesting. It has a lot of similar features, and you can get a lot of job done. But in the format settings in Sphinx are much simpler, if you ask me. So Sphinx is kind of an intermediate between your word processor as well as your LaTeX. That's what I can say. And so it's worth a try if you guys are if you guys are more inclined to Python programming, and this will be really interesting for you guys to look at. So have a look. And next, a little bit about Ipython notebooks. Now, what Ipython notebooks are just actually, they are actually digital notebooks for testing Python codes in blocks, block by block. Okay, block by block. And if you guys want to know more about how Ipython notebooks work and everything, you can go and look at my scientific programming tutorials on Python. I've used Ipython notebooks in one of the last parts of the tutorial series. You can have a look at that. Okay, now Ipython notebooks, they run in local host servers, meaning you just invoke a server from which you can make it run. Okay, and they use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and JSON for displaying the code in a proper manner. Okay, HTML is used for giving a web framework, CSS is used for making the styles, and JSON and JavaScript are used for making some web page backend programming. Okay, they're used in the background for some nice animations, transitions and some little bit of programming, a little bit of object-oriented programming stuff for maintaining the notebooks. Okay, Ipython notebooks can be used for documentations, articles, reports, web pages, text-based for PDF files and presentations. Honestly, just like how you make in Sphinx, you can do a lot of stuff with Ipython notebooks. Although there are a few features that are missing or are still developing, but you can do a lot of it. And if you know a reasonable amount of HTML and CSS and possibly a little bit of JavaScript, then Ipython notebooks will be real fun for you guys, because you can get a lot of operations done with these programming knowledges. Okay. And this is an extremely handy and useful tool, and is extremely good for making offline documentation notes. Okay, if you are a Python user, I highly recommend you guys have a look at it. And if you're not a Python user, still you can have a look at it. And if you like Python and you want to work with that Python programming language, then this might become very handy. So just have a look. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching my series. I just learned a lot by teaching you guys. I hope I just solved a lot of queries and questions for you guys as well. If you guys have any questions or queries, do send a message to me, or put your questions and queries in your comments. I'll do my very best to I'll do my very best to answer them back. And if you guys found something interesting, or found a new link, or if there's any problem in my tutorial, if I did some mistakes or anything, do let me know. I'll just correct. I'll take this in a really good sense, and I'll make the corrections and put them on the line. And if you guys want if you have any queries or any specific questions, do let me know. I'll do my best to make it either a tutorial or explain you guys how to do those stuff. And do subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more there's a lot more interesting and very informative tutorials coming up for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in some other tutorial series. Until then, take care. It's Arun. See you guys.